Hey, it's Jason. After 1 full month with the Pixel 9a, I've had enough time to really get to know this phone, including its strengths, its quirks, and kinda everything in between. With the starting price tag of just $499, Google positions the Pixel 9a as a budget-friendly option that promises not to skimp on the essentials. But how does it actually hold up in everyday use? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna walk through my real-world experience with the Pixel 9a 1 month later, from the surprisingly powerful camera and all of the phone's AI goodness to the occasional performance hiccup and questionable design decisions. Whether you're looking to save some cash or simply curious about what a quote-unquote budget Pixel can really do, I'm gonna break down both the pros and cons for this device, all in an effort to help you decide if the Pixel 9a is the right phone for you. But before we get into it, a real quick plug for the JSL newsletter. I send subscribers out a brand new full-res wallpaper every single week, as well as links to really good tech deals and fun articles written by yours truly. It's totally free. Link to subscribe will be in the description down below. So first, let's talk about physical design and form factor with the Pixel 9a 1 month later. One of the things that has really become clear during this time is just how closely it resembles its more expensive sibling, the regular Pixel 9. Google clearly made a smart move by bringing over many of the well-received design elements from its flagship line, and it shows as the Pixel 9a looks and feels way more premium than its price tag suggests. The smaller size and more compact dimensions have been a standout feature for me over the past month. It's been refreshingly easy to use one-handed and much more comfortable for extended use compared to today's often oversized smartphones. I also have to give credit to Google for nailing the color choices this year. I've been using the peony variant, and I've genuinely enjoyed how bright, saturated, and full of personality it is. Now, I know some people are gonna hear plastic back and immediately start judging, but honestly, it's been such a non-issue for me over the past month, I haven't really even noticed it. Yes, the back may be plastic, but the frame is aluminum and very well integrated, giving the phone a solid, sturdy, and surprisingly premium feel in the hand. And because the frame is way more pronounced and robust than previous generations, it's the part of the phone that you feel and interact with the most. Now, I do appreciate the minimalist design with the absence of a camera housing, but I gotta admit, I kinda miss the signature Pixel camera bar. Without it, the back of the phone can feel a little bit too plain, almost like it's missing a bit of that Pixel identity. Now, that's a matter of preference, and I do appreciate that there's no camera bump, which is a plus, but let's talk about what likely is the most controversial design element of the Pixel 9a, the bezel. Yes, the bezel around the display is noticeably larger than most phones today, prompting cries of Bezelgate 2.0 for those who had the same beef with last year's Pixel 8a, but you have to trust me on this one. In actual day-to-day use, the bezel fades into the background, and it's likely going to be the last thing that you care or even notice. It's something that a lot of critics love to harp on, but I bet many of them haven't used the phone even once, and they're likely just reacting to static photos. And for me, after a full month of use, I can confidently say that the Pixel 9a's physical design, it's a big win. It's a clear step up from last year's 8a, and I've come away feeling that most of the perceived design drawbacks just aren't that important in real-world use. But let's talk about performance and features. 1 month into using the Pixel 9a, I gotta say I'm thoroughly impressed with how well this device holds up, not just as a mid-range phone, but as a genuinely great all-around smartphone experience. Right off the bat, the inclusion of the Tensor G4 chip, the same processor found in the flagship Pixel 9 and the 9 Pro, sets the tone for what the Pixel 9a brings to the table. Performance has been solid as apps load quickly, multitasking is smooth, and animations glide effortlessly across the screen with no lag up to this point. Everyday tasks from web browsing, watching videos, and gaming are handled with confidence, and the phone rarely gets warm even when I'm pushing it pretty hard. The device feels more responsive and fluid, and that's due in no small part to the 120Hz variable refresh rate display. The HD OLED panel looks stunning with vibrant colors and deep blacks, and it adapts beautifully whether I'm scrolling through social media or watching Netflix or diving into a fast-paced game. Now, one of the more subtle but meaningful upgrades is the in-display fingerprint sensor. On the older Pixel 8 phones, the fingerprint reader was a bit frustrating as it was slow and inconsistent, but that's not the case here. The reader on the Pixel 9a is fast, accurate, and reliable, finally delivering the kind of biometric experience you'd expect on a flagship. It's a small change that really does elevate the day-to-day usability of the phone. Despite the high flagship specs, I found the Pixel 9a to easily last a full day, often with around 20 to 30% remaining by bedtime. Even on days with heavy screen time, GPS use, or a lot of video streaming, it holds up pretty dang well. Now, the wireless charging speeds are pretty terrible though. It's not the biggest deal, but definitely something you want to keep in mind. And real quick, if you're finding this video helpful, can you do me a favor and press the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Now, of course, one of the most talked about aspects of the Pixel 9a is its access to Google's Gemini AI suite, and it's been interesting to explore. While I'm still super skeptical about AI as a core selling point, as many of the features are cool but still feel like novelties on most phones, I've genuinely found some of the tools kind of useful. Circle to search, for example, is intuitive and has kind of changed how I look things up mid-scroll. Gemini Advanced, baked into the operating system, has come in handy for drafting messages, summarizing articles, or even brainstorming ideas on the fly. I've also gotten used to using some of the AI-powered photo editing tools. Features like Magic Editor and Magic Eraser let me clean up photos in seconds or add creative tweaks without needing any third-party apps. While I wouldn't say that AI is make or break for me just quite yet, it is clear that the 9a is laying the foundation for where smartphones are headed, and I do appreciate having access to these advanced tools without needing to spend over $1,000. But let's talk about one of the most important areas of performance, and here of course we're talking about camera quality, and so far the Pixel 9a's camera performance has really stood out as one of its biggest strengths, especially considering the phone's budget-friendly price tag. It's rare to see a dual camera setup on the back of a phone in this price range, and Google has really made the most of it. The primary sensor delivers consistently strong still images, showcasing the signature Pixel aesthetic with sharp details, rich saturation, and that moody contrast that gives photos a dramatic, polished look without being overdone. Whether I'm shooting in daylight, indoors, or even in low light, the results are remarkably close to what you'd get on the flagship Pixel 9 or even the 9 Pro. It's genuinely hard to tell the difference unless you're pixel peeping, and for most people, that level of quality in a sub $500 device is kind of unheard of. Selfies have also been a pleasant surprise. The front-facing camera handles skin tones very well, avoiding that washed out or overly smooth look that many phones in this range struggle with. One of my favorite touches is the slightly wider field of view. It makes framing and capturing more in the background way easier without needing something like a selfie stick. However, it's not all perfect. Portrait mode, while decent, does reveal some limitations in subject separation. Hair and edges can look a bit messy at times, and it doesn't always nail the depth effect, which can break the illusion in otherwise great shots. When it comes to video, the performance is good, though clearly not at the same level as still photography. Shooting in 4K produces sharp footage with solid dynamic range and pleasing colors, especially when filming the subjects up close. The saturation and clarity are impressive, again for a phone at this price point, and it holds up pretty well in decent lighting conditions. That said, the video does tend to look a bit too digital at times, with noticeable over-sharpening that can give it a slightly artificial edge. Overall, the video quality is a solid good, but it's not going to replace a higher-end camera if you're aiming for more professional-looking content. And that brings me to my overall thoughts with the Pixel 9a 1 month later. To me, Google has always tried their best to cram in as much value as they can into their more budget-friendly offerings, and I think this phone is the best representation of that. The Pixel 9a is without question one of the best value devices that you can get right now, to the point where I would argue that most people should choose this phone over the flagship Pixel 9. The user experience between these phones is so similar that I almost don't notice the concessions that the 9a has, and that's kind of crazy because it's $300 cheaper than its bigger brother. If you really think about it, you're getting flagship performance, an excellent display, reliable biometrics, strong battery life, and full access to Google's latest AI tools, all for a price that undercuts most of the competition. Add to that a whopping 7 years of software updates, and you've got a phone that doesn't just compete, it kind of redefines what you should expect from a mid-range device. If the last month is any indication, the Pixel 9a isn't just great value, it's one of the most thoughtfully balanced smartphones of the year. Now, I would also say that the Pixel 9a is the better value over Apple's new iPhone 16e, another great, more budget-friendly offering. If you guys want to see that comparison, definitely check it out here. You're not going to want to miss it.